Running, a hobby to some, a lifestyle for many.
Running is something we've enjoyed for over 50 years between us.
In this video, we're going to take you through 5 life lessons we've learnt from running that we've applied to life in general, and you can too.
So, let's dive into those 5 lessons we've learnt, and you let us know if you agree or you've got others you'd like to add.
So the first lesson you can learn from running, which transfers well to the rest of your life, is to have ambition.
That ambition can be from completing your first run around your local fields to actually qualifying for the Olympics.
And winning it.
John's current ambition is to run another sub-3-hour marathon. Here you can see him doing the work that's required to give himself that chance.
So when I first started running back in 1999, my ambition was quite a vague one. It was just to get fit. But soon I entered the local 10K. My ambition then became to finish it without walking, which I achieved after about 4 weeks of running. And then my ambitions gradually got loftier and loftier. And within 5 years, I found myself fortunately with a London Marathon Championship time and an elite entry for the start of the Great North Run. Whereas nowadays, as Dawn has just shown, my ambitions are slightly less lofty in terms of goal times, but equally as ambitious in stretching myself to a target I think I can achieve, but is a big stretch, and I wouldn't 100% say that it's a given.
As for me, my ambitions were similar to John's, to get fit when I first started running and to be able to complete a loop near my house without stopping. I remember my first run, my head felt like it was going to explode. But soon my ambitions changed to, like John, loftier ambitions. So, throughout my running career, no matter how fast or slow I've run, I've always had time goals in mind.
So what does this tell us about life? Well, I took the ambition I'd shown in running and being relatively successful into other areas of my life. For example, I'd always wanted to write a book, I'd always wanted to write about cricket, and having in my 30s and 40s run comparatively well, I then managed to transfer that ambition into research and writing, and I've had several books published on areas of historical interest. So my ambition in running has transferred into creativity and ambition in another aspect of my life.
Yes, and similarly to John, I've been able to transfer my ambitions into my workplace. So throughout my work career, I've done qualification after qualification and got myself into a position that I wanted to be.
So have any of you found that being ambitious and relatively successful in running has transferred into your work career or other hobbies and interests that you take part in? Let us know in the comments below. So if only ambition were a matter of saying I want to do A and I'll do B, C and D to get there, unfortunately it isn't. So another lesson that you can learn from running to take into the rest of your life is resilience. Now resilience is hard baked into us as humans. Just like the people who built these tank teeth about 80 years ago were showing resilience in the face of adversity.
So we have to show resilience every time we get injured or we get ill.
Or if we're not injured or ill and running we think pretty well, but we're not getting the times or the progress we think our training merits. So illness and injury are part and parcel of any runner's life, but what do you do when they strike?
So I had to show resilience back in 2017 where I had a bout of fibromyalgia. It was a really frustrating time for myself and I just couldn't train the way I wanted to train. So this lasted till about 2019, so for those 2 years I felt like I was in a wilderness. Every time I went out to train, my body just said no, didn't want to do it. But I just kept ploughing on and trying my best every single time. Resilience had to kick in every time I went out the door.
Whereas for me, my worst period of running was between about 2018 and 2021, where I couldn't go for more than about 3 weeks without picking up another niggle or a further injury. So I had to show resilience there. It would have been easy for me at that point to throw in the towel and think I'm over the hill. My running days are past and I'll take up another hobby or pastime.
But fortunately we're both through those periods, and last year was a really good running year.
That's right, and last year has been quite positive running wise for both of us.
So in life you also get knockbacks.
There might be personal, there might be professional, and one thing we've learnt from running is to sometimes just focus on executing the next thing, not to worry about the next month, the next year, or way into the future, but just execute the next thing that you need to do.
Use that resilience. Resilience is something you may have to show for a long time, and to have that you may also need the third thing on our list, which is patience.
Patience is about not chasing rainbows, however tempting they may look. This is a marvellous one, isn't it? Yes, I've already mentioned long periods for both of us of illness and injury, and we displayed varying degrees of patience in there. I must admit, during my 2 to 3 years of being persistently injured, I was always looking for the next fix. I didn't show patience in applying the professional advice I'd received and seeing through with all the exercises I was given. I'd do them for 2 or 3 weeks, I'd be able to run, then I'd think, that's it, just back to running and doing nothing else.
We live in an instant gratification world where you click here and it comes the next day, and we like that sometimes with other aspects of our life. But patience is a virtue, and without it you're going to be a very unhappy person.
So runners need to show patience when they're following a training plan. Expecting instant results on a 16-week plan will leave you feeling frustrated and trying to do too much too soon.
And of course, if you're in a race, you need to show patience. So often people set off too fast and then they don't get the result they want. So patience is something we all need to show.
Yeah, that's right. In the first few miles of a marathon, you might even feel a bit bored. But you have to be patient and not try and do too much too soon and put some time in the bank, because you'll pay for it later. So yes, in life, as in with running, often the best things in life are those you have to wait for, those you have to work for, those you have to spend hours, days and years striving for. So the third life lesson we take from running is to show patience, which will bring rewards. So the fourth lesson from running you can apply to the rest of life is to show some humility.
Yes, running can be a humbling experience.
Yeah, there have been several races in our careers where we've not hit our goals, or we've not been in the finishing positions we wanted to, and sometimes you got to eat a slice of humble pie there. However successful you are at running, you need to treat success and failure the same.
Even the best runners in the world have to be humble to certain running maxims.
That's right. If you overtrain, if you put back-to-back hard day after hard day after hard day, if you increase your mileage too quickly, you will eventually come a cropper, and you need to be humble in the face of those facts.
There's a saying, never get too big for your boots. So in this case, never get too big for your running trainers.
Because your feet will start to really hurt badly, won't they? So in life, as in running, nobody likes a braggart, and whilst it might get you short-term gains and short-term approval and short-term adulation, in the long term you're heading for a big and long fall. So humility is the fourth running lesson we map onto life.
Yes, in life bragging also makes you very unpopular. So the fifth and final life lesson that we draw from running is respect.
That's right, running teaches you respect for yourself, respect for the people around you, and respect for the wider sport in general.
So of course, if you don't respect yourself in running, that can lead you down lots of blind alleys, like cheating for instance.
Yeah, just remember other people out there aren't living your lives. Although you might be faster than they are, respect the fact that they might have more challenging other circumstances than you, and they're putting just as much available time and energy into their running as you are.
And another kind of running respect is respecting the distance that you're covering. For instance, you're covering a marathon, it's not a sprint, so don't set off too fast. We mentioned that earlier, and one of the other maxims of running. But yes, respect the distance, whatever distance you're doing.
And conversely, the hardest race I ever did was an 800-metre race for my club. And I didn't respect the distance, and I hadn't trained specifically for it. And boy, did that hurt.
So yes, respect. In life, you need to be respectful of everybody around you, because that too can lead to you being unpopular if you don't show respect, and therefore it can lead to a very unhappy person. So we hope you've enjoyed today's video.
If you have, please give it a like. If you are new to this channel and want to see our training, racing, parkrun and general philosophy of life updates like this, then please subscribe. And if you have enjoyed today's video, I think you enjoy this one about 10 tips for enjoying lifelong running.
So guys, until next time, keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on.